Hello fellow YouTubers, welcome to this video. I'm joined today by
Tim, TheRealDonKnots,
my co-host. And today we're going to discuss our top 5 overrated games. Now,
this will be a good one.
Now I'm just going to say it out front, okay? This will not be a video to dislike because you disagree with our opinions.
Now, feel free to argue your opinions, why you think we're wrong, with us in the comments. I mean, it's entirely opinion.
Yes, and realistically, I have chosen a few games that I know will ruffle some feathers.
I chose a couple that might rustle some feathers also.
So, realistically, you probably will disagree with us on at least one game. So, argue your case in the comments section, and we'll argue our case in the video.
Hey, that's why we're here.
That's why we're here, and you're not. Sorry, it wasn't supposed to come out that dick-like. But anyway, do you want to go first, or...?
Yeah, okay. I'll go first.
Okay.
So, my number 5 for overrated games, I'm going to have to go with Pac-Man.
Pac-Man?
Pac-Man.
Ooh, didn't even think about Pac-Man.
Right? I mean, okay. Pac-Man, iconic. Everyone loves Pac-Man. It, you know...
Transcended gaming, definitely.
But when you go back and look at it, it's really not all that exciting of a game.
Yeah, and to your case, I mean, there really isn't any story.
No, none at all.
You kind of watch and you go, why are we doing this? Don't you run out of levels after like 5 levels or something, like the original Donkey Kong?
Don't they like recycle it and make it harder or something?
Yeah, so it's almost, like I actually do agree with you here, where I can see where somebody would say that would be an overrated game. To everybody else's defense who loves the game, though, this is one of the most important games of all time. But I think what you're trying to say, when we're discussing overrated games, you know, these games aren't necessarily bad.
They're just people put a lot of hype on them, and they're not really all that hype-worthy.
Exactly. If this game released today, okay, nobody would play it.
Well, it would be Xbox Live Marketplace indie game or a mobile game.
That's what I would picture, a mobile game. And all you would do is you like tap up to go up, you tap down. And realistically, it wouldn't do that well.
No. Granted,
you know, different time periods and everything. Okay, so for my number 5, I'm ready to ruffle some feathers here. I have Little Big Planet.
Oh.
Now, okay, when the PSN went down, okay, and when it came back up, they offered you a choice of 2 free games. And they were, you know, actual, like, real legit games. It wasn't like they got some indie developers to do it. Like, that's how I got Infamous. Loved Infamous. Then when I was done playing Infamous, got the Platinum, I was like, now I'll play Little Big Planet. And I could not get into it at all. I don't know why, because this game was huge. When I talk to people about it, they all love it. I just could not get into this game.
I mean, I can see why. You know, it's really nice as a sit-down co-op game to just mess around in for a little while. But yeah, it does kind of become the same thing, just different levels.
I think I got like 5 levels in and lost interest.
You doing the story?
Yeah.
Yeah, story was kind of miss.
And, you know, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying, you know, the way everybody talks about it, you'd imagine, you know, this would be the greatest game. And I ended up just deleting it off my PS3.
Wow.
Because it never got played.
Now,
Infamous would get played again.
Infamous is good.
I really enjoyed Infamous. I enjoyed my other games. Little Big Planet could not get into it.
My number 4, coming in hot, all aliens and outer spacey, is Mass Effect. Now,
we're challenging people here.
Everyone seemed to really like Mass Effect, but it's so slow-paced, and the combat system is not all that fantastic. Yeah, it's a heavily story-based game, but even I find the story kind of lacking. Like the characters, some of them get like emotional and you can kind of connect with them, but a lot of them they're kind of like neutral in most aspects.
Now, as somebody who hasn't played any of the Mass Effect games, this is the game series where, you know, you're supposed to have all this choice. You know, you can continue your choices throughout 3 games, right? But then at the end of the series, it didn't really matter what choices you made because they all pretty much sucked.
Yep.
So I could see why you would say that would be overrated because, you know, I remember hearing a whole bunch about how people were so excited about the third one coming out because it was supposed to wrap everything up. Granted, I mean, never played them, but I know a lot of people were very unhappy with the way it ended.
Well, the combat and the story get more interesting as the games go. Like 2 smoothed out the combat a little bit.
Yeah.
The story is a little more intriguing, but still, you know, I couldn't find myself like being able to sit down and actually thoroughly enjoy the game. And for 3 was the best combat system and the most intriguing story, but
Yeah.
I still was not able to sit down and thoroughly enjoy this game. Yes, you have so many options for dialogue, but it doesn't really matter in the end.
Yeah, and that's what I've always heard after the fact, where it was kind of like, you know, there was this big hype of, you know, how are any of your choices going to affect the end?
Right.
And then it doesn't. Okay, so my number 4 is one of the best-selling games of all time.
Of all time.
Okay, yes. It popularized an entire gaming console. Okay, well, not really console, a handheld, one of the most important games of all time, Tetris. Okay, this game, I can completely see why at its time people loved it. You know, it's a simple concept you can just pick up and play.
And it's kind of fun for like 30 minutes.
I wouldn't even give it that long.
That's why I kind of had to like draw out at the end, like, eh.
This game, like, I don't get why it's still being ported to everything now.
Oh, and revamped so many times. Many times.
The series should have been done. There isn't anything to do to this series.
How do you take a game where you drop bricks in shapes in a line and destroy that line and make it exciting?
You can't. It's a boring game. Like we said with Pac-Man, there's literally no story.
Not a single one.
No.
Who the hell's dropping the bricks? Why do you have to destroy the bricks?
At least I can kind of respect Dr. Mario because it's the same game, but they kind of gave it a little bit of story, which, okay, I can get behind that. But the original Tetris had nothing.
Literally nothing.
And it is one of the best-selling games of all time. I want to say it literally was the most well-bought Game Boy game. Because Red and Blue came out so late in the life cycle that they couldn't overpower it.
Yeah.
Tetris is that popular. And I don't get why.
It doesn't have the credibility or the fun value to hold up for being so popular.
It does not. And the fact of the matter is, this isn't a game, you know, where you look back and it's like, oh, it came out in the 70s, or it came out, well, I mean, I think it did come out in the 80s, but this game was still insanely popular into the 90s.
Yep. My number 3, what I got, Call of Duty.
Okay, which Call of Duty is this? Because the first 3 sucked.
Most of them. Okay.
Oh.
World of War was good. Modern
Definitely
Warfare
agree.
was good. Black Ops was the one that had the opening where you shot up the airport, right?
No, that was Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, Modern Warfare 2. Good.
Really liked it. Very controversial.
Then they just started recycling and recycling and recycling.
Yeah,
Guns.
definitely. Guns literally just
Attachments for
carried
your
over.
weapons. They started doing kind of like crappy, gimmicky kill streaks, like when you add the AC-130, that plane that just flies up above.
Oh, the AC-130 was the bomb. Like, straight up loved it.
And you just get to shoot the crap out of everybody, and you're fine, you know, it doesn't matter. And zombies? Nazi zombies? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That became
That is the greatest
major
game mode
selling
ever.
point for
Yeah,
the games.
it did.
They're like, oh, by the way, new Nazi zombies maps, new DLC for Nazi zombies.
Yeah. And for a while, that was like one of the only reasons to buy the DLC. Even though they were releasing multiplayer maps with it, the maps weren't even that good.
And then they're like, oh, okay, maybe everyone's tired of zombies. Let's change it so that way they're aliens.
Are they aliens?
I'm pretty sure in one of them there's an aliens one. I could be wrong.
Wow.
But are you freaking kidding me?
And I do want to add, though, that when I was making my list, I really wanted to put COD 4 on my list. And here's my quick little story about that. Okay, when I started playing Call of Duty, it was the tail end of World at War's life cycle.
Start playing at the beginning.
So, World at War, I really enjoyed. Okay, Modern Warfare 2 comes out, I really enjoy that. Well, by the time I finally go back and play COD 4, Okay, the game was already broken. My first game on my PS3, and I get hacked.
Yep.
10th prestige, well, 11th prestige or whatever. Everything's unlocked. There's one stupid gun that had no attachments. So it just kept saying new, new, new. It's like, come on, check out these new attachments you unlocked. And you can't.
Because there are not.
But in seriousness, the maps, they looked okay, but the story, the story for Call of Duty games, aside from World at War and Black Ops, they all sucked. I mean, realistically.
They're not all that great.
And to add to your point, and also to pimp out one of my old videos, I do have a video where I discuss the fact that they need to go back a little bit in terms of what time period you're on.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of the present and the future. There's too much of that now.
They're turning into like Titanfall and Halo now at this point.
Yeah.
It just seems like they went from their own unique game to redoing their own unique game, which then made it not unique and the same thing over and over. And then they're like, okay, well, let's make this unique to us, but games that people have already played.
Yeah, and to even add more onto this, like, you actually look at the progression, and it's like, I think Black Ops took place in this 50s to 70s, right? And then I don't know what time Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 3 came out, but I want to say everything after that has been present or future time. Mm-hmm. And that's like 5-6 games now. Okay, so my number 3, I'm going to continue destroying whole systems, big games. When I put Wii Sports as my number 3, this game, why? Okay, I get that people had it because didn't it come with the Wii for a while?
Yes.
Okay, so I get why you'd have it. Okay, but the game wasn't good. Like at all.
It's good if you have literally nothing else to play.
Yes, but this just isn't good. I tried the baseball, it wasn't that good. The bowling, I used to play with people, and they knew how to work it to where they would always get a strike.
Yep.
It's like, the game was broken. There was no story, it was just like 5-6 different little games. And they weren't that good.
You could cheat baseball too if you just take the controller and you're like, flip, boom, home run, boom, home run, boom, home run.
The game just wasn't that good to me.
Nope.
And I get why you play it.
The boxing was fun. I'll give it that. I enjoyed myself thoroughly.
But at the same point, all these things were more fleshed out later on, weren't they?
Mm-hmm. They made better games with pretty much the same mechanics.
And I want to say, it is one of the Wii's best-selling games.
It's kind of sad.
It is really sad when you think about it. I like the idea of the Wii. I don't like the fact that everybody decided they were going to rip it off.
Yeah.
But I like the original idea of the Wii. But Wii Sports shouldn't be the most played game on the system.
Bringing it in hot with my number 2, Fallout. Pretty much all of them.
Oh, can I cut you off real fast?
Yes.
For one of my honorable mentions, I actually have Fallout 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I got a couple honorable mentions too. Post-apocalyptic, it's okay.
Yeah.
But you gotta have some like modern stuff in there as well, because when you're just looking at vast empty nothingness,
yes,
for like God knows how long you're gonna play this game, it's so tedious. Like, oh my god.
And it's kind of like my complaint with Far Cry 2, where all of the environment is basically the same. You're just kind of running across emptiness.
Yep.
Oh, it's so dreary. Who cares?
And yeah, you can fast travel, but you got to run to all these destinations. You have to run. You run there.
Can't even get a horse.
No horses. Like, there's got to be some sort of mutated, crazy
cockroach
horse
or something.
Yeah, a giant cockroach.
You can't train a cockroach.
Like, come on. You make me walk the whole time? Are you out of your mind?
Yeah. And one of my big things was that I got Fallout 4, and I remember because everybody was made a big hubbah, oh, this game is fantastic. And I was like, well, I played, I think it was 3, it might have been 2, whatever the one was where you get to blow up the city because they're worshipping
That's 3.
The bomb. I remember liking that, just that part.
Yeah.
The game after that really sucked.
I feel the exact same way.
But 4, like, I put it in the PS4, I played it a little bit. Once I started going, I'm going to play this game instead, I have had zero urge to play it, aside from that urge inside me that says, you just wasted $60 on this game, you play it for like an hour.
Yeah. I did not waste $60 on the game. I had someone share it through their Steam, and I played it through that. I played 3 hours, roughly, and...
How far did you get?
I got to level 12 and I started making like.
Well, I mean, like, what had just happened?
I went into this city. I killed this Deathclaw using this power armor.
Yeah, I remember getting that far because I couldn't figure out how to make everything work. I had wasted all my ammo, so I forced him. Like, I was inside a building, and I was sitting there outside with a gun, and I'm just shooting at him because he's stuck on the glass.
Yeah.
He keeps seeing me. He can't get in.
That's what I did too. It's the only way.
That was really fun. But immediately after that, the game's like, oh, you have to clear out the town. And I'm just running around, and there is nothing to kill. Mm-hmm. Okay, so for my number 2, I have Grand Theft Auto 4. Okay? Yeah, San Andreas, one of my top 5 games of all time. I don't remember where I put it. It might have been 3, it might have been 4. But regardless, one of the best games. Vice City, some of my earliest memories playing that game. 3, I played it a bunch, never really got that far into it. But it was alright. 5, it was okay. It was
amazing.
It was definitely the second best game in the series, but 4, just god-awful.
Now, as someone who put like 400 hours into Grand Theft Auto 4, I can see how you would say it's overrated.
Here was my thing, okay? Because when I had the game, like, the environment was nice, but it was like all city.
Yep.
And I was like, well, this is dull. And they're like, oh, you can go in all these buildings. Well, you really couldn't. You could only go in like 1% of the buildings. Which, okay, well, you can't destroy the environment, which is something they should have done a long time ago. And it's still New York City. Nobody cares. Your guy barely speaks English. Mm-hmm. So, like, I'm not trying to sound racist or anything, because I'm really not. But it's hard to connect with a character who you can't understand half the time. I liked the deep complexity of the story, how you know, he had done all these horrible things in the past.
And I was trying to escape from it.
But it just didn't appeal to me at all. 5 has a hard time gripping me too, but 4 was just so bad. I just could not get into it. I remember one of the things I did the most was using the cheat code for a helicopter and jumping out and crashing into buildings.
Yeah.
That was the most fun thing about the game.
I mean, I played 4. I really like just driving around. The story, I beat it once. I tried to go back and beat it again for the alternate ending. But I couldn't do it. I was like, you know, the story isn't compelling at all.
No, it's not. It's and while I was researching this, somebody had pointed out, they're like, this would be a great storyline for a different game franchise.
Yeah.
But with it being Grand Theft Auto, you know, you play these games to have no real guilt about what you're doing, if that makes sense. And it just, 4 was not compelling. No. It wasn't. San Andreas ate up my life for years.
Yeah,
5, I can get why people play it a lot.
Love the crap out of 5.
But 4, it just sits there and it's like, look, I'm perfect. And I look at you and I go, this game sucks.
I wouldn't say perfect, but, you know, it's alright. It's alright.
It was passable at best.
And for a Grand Theft Auto game, passable is not really passable.
Because you know what other games are passable in the Grand Theft Auto franchise? Liberty City Stories, Vice City Stories, 3, 1, 2, London. They're all passable. Mm-hmm. They are not good games. And 4 is in that camp.
Honestly, I would put the Ballad of Gay Tony, the DLC or whatever you want to call it. I would say that for as short as that was better than Grand Theft Auto 4.
We are so savage today.
You gotta be savage.
Okay, so do we have anything else to add? Because I'm good.
Nah, I think we're moving on to honorable mentions.
Okay, well, I only have 2 honorable mentions.
I think I've got 3.
Okay.
I'll hit one first. Honorable mention. Harvest Moon.
Well, all I'm saying, okay, is that I don't think Harvest Moon is as well received as you think it is.
Really?
Yes.
I thought everyone loved Harvest Moon.
I could be wrong, but generally I don't hear many people putting it like their best games of all time or anything.
Well, then forget it. Not Harvest Moon.
No, keep it in there.
I'll change it to Tetris because that was kind of a toss up for me. It's like Harvest Moon or Tetris. If I put Harvest Moon. So I'll put Tetris.
Okay, continue.
Another honorable mention. I got Starcraft. There's a lot of people who love the crap out of Starcraft. You're like, oh, I've logged 1,528 hours into Starcraft. I'm sorry, I don't know why you did that. You wasted a lot of time of your life. It's not that fun, and it's honestly the whole micromanaging thing is really tedious and kind of lame. And then you're like, okay, I tried playing Starcraft. You're gonna be like, oh, he's never played Starcraft. No, I tried. I played a few matches. I joined. I got Zerg rushed. I joined. I got Zerg rushed. I joined. I got Zerg rushed. And you know, there's no way to like have a learning curve if I join the match and I'm dead in a minute. I'm sorry.
That's pretty bad.
I hated it. Moving on to my last honorable mention. Yeah, here we go. Everybody, Metal Gear Solid. Great storyline. It's fantastic. Gameplay, so subpar. It drags on for so long. They're like, don't kill anybody. But sometimes there's no way around it.
Yeah.
I mean, at least not for me. Maybe you're like, oh, you play too much Max Payne. You just dive around and shoot people in the face. You know what? That's fun. I like that. But like, I can't just sneak around stealthily and like hide in a box and incapacitate people. Not for me.
Too slow paced for you, I guess.
Too slow paced. Like they try and make it seem like it's so exciting and like invigorating.
It is
to
exciting
play,
at times,
but it's only in the story that things are like invigorating and exciting and fast paced. When you play in the real game, it's slow, and boring, kind of lame. You feel like an old man creeping around with a pistol, and inside that pistol is just like sleeping agent. You're like, pff.
Okay, so you have anything else to add to
No,
this?
that's all I gotta say about that.
Okay, when I wrote this, my honorable mention list was just Fallout 4. But I also do want to add Skyrim because I want you all to really like this video and applaud us for going this far in on making you all hate us.
I have to stop you with Skyrim. Absolutely loved the crap out of that game. Hundreds of hours, 4 different characters, all different play styles.
Okay, this was my Skyrim experience. So I was doing the beginning part. And, you know, I knew it was going to suck because it's the beginning of a video game. 98% of video games really suck at the beginning.
That's true.
So I get to the point where you're in town, right? And I've been, you know, told you can kill everybody. You can do whatever you want.
Not everybody.
So I start picking up this teacup, right? And I'm picking everything up, trying to put it in my pocket. I don't know what I was doing. But then this guard in there is like, I hate you. I'm going to kill you. Well, here's what I didn't know because I ran outside. Well, the game must have auto-saved or something.
When you run through doors, it auto-saves. So
every character in the entire town hates me. Well, this is the first town in the game. So how am I supposed to get anything done?
That's at the point where you become a thief and you have to sneak around. Or you can pay off your debt to the guards. Then you're like, oh, sorry, here's the money to pay for my misdeeds. Or you go to jail, which... it's the crappiest experience in a video game I've ever had. You really feel like you're in prison. I let myself go to jail one time in Skyrim, and I never let it happen again. I fast-forwarded through, like, 2 months worth of time in-game, and I was like, when are they going to let me escape? And they don't let you out. And they do hide one lockpick in your cell for you to try and escape. But if you're not good at lockpicking, or you mess up once and you break it, you're stuck in jail. Good luck.
Okay. I think we've kind of gone through our honorable mentions. So if you want to start with your number one, or do you want me to go with mine?
You go with yours. Mine's kind of... oh, man. Yeah, you go with yours.
Okay, well, my number one, and here you go, Internet. Get your flaming pitchforks out because you're all going to be really mad at this point. My number one is Final Fantasy VII. I don't know why you didn't include it in yours, but my God, this game is horrible.
I knew I didn't include it in mine because I kind of knew you were going to pick Final Fantasy VII.
Guys, you really need to, you know, comment and explain the appeal of this game to me, okay?
I don't get it.
I could get why looking back, like a nostalgia would kind of take over, but for somebody who's never finished the game, I've had like a few hours into the game, the characters are dull. Cloud, because I know the story, isn't even Cloud.
Yeah,
So
he's a
why?
totally different person.
So basically, he's a tool. He's a clone. He has no personality.
He stole
Hey,
somebody's
Barrett,
sword.
He's
Well,
just an
he didn't
angry
steal
black
it, but-
man. He stole his sword.
Sid,
Eris dies.
he's okay, but he doesn't have much personality.
You
Eris
have-
does die.
You have literally a clone of like a pluff ball. That is a character on your team.
And then
you have a
you-
talking lion.
You got your angry tsundere, whatever the hell you call it, like video game girl who just likes to beat people up. It's kind of it's an anime turned into a game.
And the characters, okay? I can see why you look past the characters. Okay. But the story makes no sense. Like, I get that people applaud it for being, so daring, and how it's the first, RPG, Japanese RPG, to make it big in the US.
It's true.
But, my God, guys, 8 is better, 9 is better, 10 is better. Hell, I'll take 10-2 over 7
No.
any day. And from what I've heard, 6 is better.
No,
So
but
why
6.
does everybody love 7?
I had more fun playing Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced than I had playing 7. And that was on the Game Boy.
7 is just so bad. I wish somebody could explain it to me and go, here you go, Mudlup. This is why the game is a classic. But honestly, all I think that people think of it is, man, it was the first RPG. And if you love it so much because it's the first, you're an idiot. Because they'd be like saying Pokemon Red and Blue are the best Pokemon games. They are so far from it. No, I'm correct here, okay? Because you could even go and say,
He left out Yellow because that is the best.
Gold, Silver, and Crystal had double the regions,
Gold, Silver is
had
pretty good.
250 Pokemon, a lot more good Pokemon, 2 new typings. Generation 2 was better. Final Fantasy VII is not that good. 8 had better graphics, a better story, it has more mythology that go along with it, better characters. Wow, would you look at that? 8 is better in every conceivable way.
7 made a great movie. Advent Children, loved it. It was cool. But it wasn't exactly 7 as a
No, it
movie.
wasn't.
It was kind of like its own little spin-off thing, which I thought was alright.
But okay, you can go with your number 1 now.
Here
I'm
we
done
go.
rambling.
After you're done chasing him down with your flaming pitchforks and your angry mob, you're coming for me. Super Mario Brothers.
The original?
It's when it came out, cool, great game. I mean, I don't think it was as amazing as everyone thought it was.
Yeah.
But I can see why you'd have fun playing it. But now you go back and play it, and you're like, man, this is kind of weak,
Yeah.
kind of really weak. There's no story. They don't explain why Peach got captured. Why the hell does she keep getting taken by Bowser to these
She's an
castles?
idiot.
Why the hell do you keep searching in all of these castles that she's not in?
Why couldn't one of the Toads be like, no, she's in Bowser's castle?
Yeah, not this random castle that doesn't belong to the evil person in this friggin' world.
Universe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
universe. Toad. I'm sorry. What the hell is Toad?
Toad is a
Is
toad.
is he a toad or is he a mushroom?
I believe he's a mushroom.
See-
Could be mistaken. To be fair, though, they're not actually toads. They're toadstools.
Okay, I can see that, but then he should have the little red dots on his head because that's mushrooms, and a toadstool doesn't have those. They're just like bland and normal. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Yeah.
The enemies
Goombas.
lame. They don't do anything. They walk back
They
and
don't
forth.
even mean
and
to
if you-
hate you.
Yeah, and if you walk into them, you die. And you know what? It's your fault. They're not evil. They're just walking around.
Right, so what do you do instead? You stomp on them until they die.
And you know what? I get it. The Hammer Bros, that they throw hammers at you. I would kill anybody throwing hammers at me too.
What hope?
But the game isn't that fun. And if you know how to do it, you can skip everything. Everything. Why not just put that as like the first tunnel you go down? It's like, okay, you can skip everything, go straight to the last castle. And that would make a better game overall. Because then you'd be like, oh, cool. I now don't have to search like the 20 different castles that she's not in.
Yeah.
And I can just go straight to the end. And you get the satisfaction of fighting Bowser.
Yeah, I do want to add a few things here. For one, isn't the Bowser fight like the fight in every other dungeon?
Is it?
I think so. So it's like Bowser isn't even a good final boss in that game.
So you beat him multiple times.
I want to say, I mean, I could be wrong, haven't played it in a while, but the battery's getting low. But also, isn't Super Mario World better in every single way?
Also,
better areas?
Also didn't think that was all that fun.
But to be fair, it's better.
Yeah, that's true.
And generally, people say Super Mario Brothers 1 is the best. It makes no sense.
It doesn't. It does not. But you know, camera's dying. Gotta wrap this up.
Yeah. Okay, so if you enjoyed the video or hate us, please like the video, because if we made you hate us, we're probably doing a pretty good job on overrated video games.
Yeah.
So comment with your list, or comment defending any of these games. I mean, there's like 13 games we listed here.
Like and share, so that way other people can also hate us and defend the games that they liked on our list.
Exactly. Or if you think our opinions are correct and you have a buddy who doesn't, feel free to share the video to them, so that way they can hate us
and you can get a rise out of them and watch them get really mad.
Exactly. Make sure to subscribe, because we'll be doing plenty more of these, and watch the previous video in this installment to figure out what we're going to name this series. Comment on those videos. Ask me questions on Ask FM. Check out my other videos. There are a lot of things I could be asking you to do right now.
We need feedback.
Bad. So I think we're about done here.
All right.
So, peace out, home skillets.
Peace.